Oh my goodness, they're all in here.
You want some coffee?
I do.
Let's go get some. I'm gonna take a break.
After the past day in machinery, man, I'm just, oh, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of time today and we're gonna tackle this brush pile. I didn't plan on us burning brush piles today, but it seems like that's where we are, so that's what we're gonna do. Again, we have a pretty good ring around here. I have the hose up by just in case we need it. I double checked this morning, there's no burn bans in the state. So I think we're just gonna take some time, get this brush pile burning. I'm gonna move this tractor, but while I do, I'm gonna show you guys a clip where I was working on this log up here and well, the first woe of the day. I know this is green wood and it may not last long, but we just need a border for right now around this garden Jennifer's putting together. So I'm going to flatten the bottom half of this piece right here so it can sit on the ground. That'll be on my bottom side. And then we're going to just have a few other pieces of log around. We'll fill it in, kind of level it up some, put a table and chair and have a place to sit in the evenings. So it's probably going to take a few minutes to get 2 of these at 14 feet long, kind of trimmed down. Definitely keep your arms going. Woo, we got a ways to go. All right, so for me, the easiest thing to do is I score my whole line. Now I don't have to worry about whether I'm going straight or not. I can just focus on my cut. Does play on your hands doing this manually. Oh, we're getting closer to the end. And as the tree gets thicker at the backside here, you know, sometimes you have to do 4 or 5 cuts before you can actually make your cut through. You know, you gotta just dig away at the material for a little bit. But we're just about done. I think my blade's starting to go bad here. That's the only one I got for a while. Now the cut I've been waiting for. I think we're gonna go take this apart and see what's wrong with our saw. And that is the chainsaw messed up the first time. I thought it was the blade. But we managed to work everything out. We got it all done here, and I thought it was the blade, so we went and got a new blade. So with the chainsaw, let me see if I can get this down here. This has locked up tight. They ain't no turning this chainsaw. So I'm hoping it's the blade. We're just going to put a new blade on here and see if that's the case. But if you've never put a blade on, I want to do that just to kind of show you how that's done in case you ever have to do this yourself. You can see it's really not that hard. This is our new blade. It's the same as the old one. And these right here, see, this part right here should spin real free. It's supposed to get a lot of oil, and what probably happened was the oil got a little blocked up. I didn't do what I needed to do to keep it clean, and well, now I'm buying a $50 blade for this particular saw, 20-inch. This comes with the chain and the bar. Like I say, this was $55. But to change the chainsaw blade, and most people have the neat little tool that comes with your chainsaw. I don't know where mine is. It's in this stuff somewhere. But towards the end of the last video, towards the end of the last clip that came on before this one, you could probably hear the chainsaw making a little, like a whining or grumbling sound, and I thought it was something to do with I didn't have this tightened up enough. But when you take this off, it's a good idea. Just take something and kind of scrape all this out. This is the area right down in here. You want to make sure it's clean because this is where the oil gets on your bar. And you can see there's a lot of oil. This is wet. I have never seen this. This chain is actually so warm it is stuck inside here. Okay, at the top of the bar, this is the piece that bites. So when you have your bar stuck up the way that it goes on like this, you want all of these little teeth to be angled out. Okay, and that is that part there. Now this part, this little pin right here has to go through this hole. So what we're going to do is, generally it's not there when you first start, but I'll lay it on. I just back it off like this until it falls in place. We got to go on that. Oh, not too much more. Alright, but you put these screws back on. You try and make sure you keep everything in track. I usually pull up on this, tighten that just a little bit to make sure it's caught. Then it's time to bear these down just a little bit. You want to have good tension on this. Okay. And I could have, if I would have had a tool, I would have had a little more tension on these. Usually what I do is I pull it till at least these bolts are even. Then I know I have enough tension that I can turn this a little bit, but that's pretty good. You don't want it to be too tight, because you'll break it. And that'll serve as our little crash course on changing a chainsaw blade. And this should work with just about any brand out there. They're pretty much all the same. We're finally getting around to getting this pile here chopped up. Some things we want to do. I got to have some mulch, and it's just a whole bunch. So we're going to really give this Champion 3-inch chipper a really good run for its money today. But my idea to catch this was I strapped it to my trailer, put a tarp in here, and that tarp does a really good job of coming over the sides. And I think you all saw my chainsaw went out today. So this is one that I had bought my wife a few years ago. It's a Greenworks. I bought this for her because it's a little bit lighter weight, and there's not as much to worry about with the fuel. But you do have to have a battery. According to this, my battery's fully charged. These batteries are expensive now. That's one thing. When the battery dies, it's real expensive. But you have to use oil. And it's the same type of oil used with just any chainsaw. I just use a quart because it's easier to pour into this. But I figure we'll give this a really good test too. The wind was the only issue. I figured when we got started, we'd get enough weight pretty quick. But right here's where we put the heavy stuff, the bigger stuff, so it's right here at chest level, and the other stuff we just throw over. And so you're not tempted to really push down on it. You don't have a good way to push down on it. And I strapped this to the trailer with a drawdown strap. That way it's not going to move on anybody, fall, anything like that. I don't even know if it's going to start. We might be packing it up going up to the house. Choke on. Stuff like this it doesn't like. Doesn't like the limbs, I can tell you that. This is going to be a pain in the ass. So everything I feed through here, I have to make sure I cut the limbs off on. Not cool. Well, that did not go as planned. You know, we're going to show you guys what all's inside this. I gotta go up the house. I don't have the tools down here. That was discouraging last night. So I just quit, come up, and really didn't do a whole lot last night. We sat out at the garden area for a little bit and drank some coffee. But we got to get started again today. I run out to Tractor Supply to get another pair of gloves. You saw my one pair had a hole in the thumb. And a few other items that we'll be needing here today. But first I said I was going to show you. So we've used this Champion 3-inch chipper shredder. And I've seen these in other brands, but they are the same machine essentially. So I'm going to say what stands for one stands for most. So you saw I put a fair amount. I mean, the hopper was not packed full, but the hopper was full. Let's see what the hopper looks like at the moment. So you can see that's all that's in this hopper right now. There's a lot of pounds of pressure I'm having to put. This cover, there's three 10mm bolts. Yeah, we're not going to get away from it. This comes off. And they shouldn't have a whole lot of torque on them. You can see this is all the stuff we have up in here. And what I didn't show you, the one thing you always have to do first, make sure you undo the spark plug. See, there's a bunch more pieces in here and I cannot get to them. Whoa, something just relieved a lot of pressure. They say not to operate it without the back, but we're just going to start it up and then stop it. I guess we'll be lopping off all the branches this time and throwing everything individual. We're going to baby this and see just how it works. I have a feeling it's not going to make much of a difference. And I know you've seen us using this Greenworks chainsaw a little bit. I'm going to set it right here and we're going to talk about it for just a second. I really do like this chainsaw. Like I said, one thing I don't like, the batteries are very expensive. And really and truly, I'm down to one battery. You need, 4 batteries at least to be able to get in a day's work. And, and because it's an electric motor, I do like to let it cool down some naturally. Maybe I'll cut with it for about an hour and I'll let it cool for at least 30 minutes. But we need to put a new chain on this today. This chain here is kind of dull. I thought that's where we come in. Now I bought this for Jennifer again because this was very lightweight. So one of the things you do on this model here, this very simple, notice no tools. So I do this right here to unwind my chain. You see I'm getting my attention? This is so simple. See, so this comes out, and we need to probably clean a little bit of this out, my goodness. But, I just find a stick, and you don't have to be perfect at it, but, you want to get it out around here especially. This is where the oil hits the chain and the gears in the bar. Try and clean that off. And there you go. As good as used. This just pops right off. Oh, this is just dirt. That was all dirt in there, my gosh. I did have this right side up, so every time I put a blade on, I always switch this around upside down, so that way this isn't always rolling in the same manner. You make sure you get an equal amount of oil going this direction too. So this is an Oregon bar. I like the Oregon products. I really do. I wish they would want to sponsor us. Hint, hint, Oregon. But chain, it just fits in. You want to make sure that your chisel edge is pointing out. This blade spins this way, and this is how you want to cut. So make sure that's on like that. All right, so you get this in, this in. And when all that's together, I kind of pull it out with my hand and try and make sure I get everything here. All right. And then I know that's kind of hanging a little janky on there. But the way this works, see, I can go ahead and I can put this back on. And this just screws down on the stud that's in there, if you seat it right. And once I get this a little tight, then I can start turning I need to make sure I'm in my track. I'm running out of my track on this. Okay, we're all in the track. Now we just tighten this down. And that's it. With this electric one, there are no tools. Now, you still have to put oil in, and I think I mentioned it yesterday, but again, I will. This opening here is very small, so I use quart-sized jugs. It makes it a lot easier. But let's get back to some cutting and chipping here. So it seems like the best way to do this is a lot of pre-processing. So that's what we're going to do. And we're still kind of coming into whether this is all worth it or not. I mean, pre-processing that's just a pain in the butt when you get down to it. Why am I having to, chop everything up that I want to chop up? Well, as you can see today, we're doing pre-processing. Now, when you're looking at the cost of this being $700, and I have this much additional work to do to everything before I can use anything, that's a lot. We're not at a point where we're saving any money at all. And the quality of the mulch that comes out of this is not how it always shows on television or in the YouTube commercials. But I guess this is going to be what we're going to be doing. So let's see how long it takes to get this pile processed, if we can even get this whole pile processed. Guys, we're going to clean this up, and this is going to be listed on Facebook Marketplace. While it's burning or trying to catch up, none of the big stuff's caught. It's just the small stuff right now. I'm just going to keep throwing some of these leaves, making this burn ring a little wider. And a lot of these embers will keep falling down and they'll catch the bottom. I don't worry about getting it caught on the bottom anymore. I used to make that a priority, but it'll end up catching. It's a-going. It's slowly building. It's coming slowly. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, I got probably 15, 20 minutes till I need to check it again. All right, so we just brought the first one in. But you know, at least for this season, this bark will stay on. It'll look quite decorative. And maybe by this fall, you know, it'll be loose enough that the bark will want to peel off, and you know, we'll peel it off and maybe put some copper sulfate or something like that on it to preserve it. Wouldn't you know it, I'd have it backwards. Yep, it's backwards. Oh shit, I felt something in my wrist popping. Ah, bullshit. Nope. Can't do it yet. Oh yeah, if you like the smell of fresh cut pine, we sure got plenty of that. And that's the first log. All right, well, you see this first pile that we had down here, we have it cleared up. Got a little tree right over there we got to get. We're going to get some of this stuff here done and all of that cleared up. My hope is to get enough of these piles cleared up that I can go ahead and get the bush hog on today and just cut a little bit of this, get it done. Just making sure we didn't miss anything big in here. You know, small limbs, debris, stuff like that, I'm not too worried about. It's when we miss some of the big stuff, because we're going to come through here with the bush hog, and I don't want to throw anything into the neighbors either side. Now, if I remember right, this was hung on something in here. So we're just going to start cutting grapes and see what happens. I think that might have been the one. Was. Good start. I think we might make a battery chainsaw part of our standard arsenal out here. I really like this. It's quick. You know, and I don't want it for cutting down big trees. That makes me nervous still, but we may try it on one or two, see how it does. Because I've got it on and no one knows even. All right, that's enough of this stuff cleared. Probably gonna talk to this neighbor over here in the next, well, one day this week. See if they mind if I, clear a little bit on their side as I'm going up. If there's a suspender company out there that makes this so it doesn't clip, but it buttons or fastens better than this, drop a link below. You don't even have to sponsor me, just drop your link and I'm gonna buy a pair. I'm hoping I can just come right through here with the bush hog too. I'm gonna get all this, every bit of this. Now, I'm sure some of you wondered why I didn't just leave more of this to cut, or, with the bush hog. Well, I don't want to sharpen my blades all that often. And two, this grapevine and a lot of these vines, especially in the spring when they're young and they're starting to grow again, they'll bind your entire system up, just like a piece of string. Now, actually making ground contact with your blade, it will dull your blade, so you want to try to avoid it. It's not the end of the world now, but you want to avoid it. There we go. All right, now that we have something to weigh this down some, I'm going to take and throw a few pieces of this stuff up here and oh no! Well, and then sometimes you have items like this where now we've got a halt working down here. We'll work at another spot and I'll show you why. Can I get them in on it? I can't see in the screen myself. All right, again, when you're pulling anything heavy with a tractor, it's best the lower to the ground you can keep the weight. And if you have a front end ballast, that's gonna help a lot. So we're gonna hook this log up. We're gonna take it over where Jennifer's working on our blackberry space right now. We have some natural blackberries around here. We're gonna transplant about 40 of them and try and make a nice blackberry garden. Fresh fruit at the supermarket, I question some of the chemicals farmers are, being requested to use, and so we want fruit, but we're waiting until we can grow it. And over here, this log's gonna be a wonderful barrier. Okay, good. We got it. It's coming. All right, I think I'm being called in for a break at this moment. I'm not gonna fight it. Cause I can't stop digging it myself. It's nice when you get these things pulled down and actually in place, but it didn't happen this time. So I got this 16-pound pry bar. We're just gonna see if we can make this move at all. We'll use this fence post to help us out. See, it's all about leverage. and just, you know, kind of push down firm and pry up. Huh? We're going to come down to about a foot of this right here. And again, the main purpose of this is going to be just a soil catch for a while. I know, and I'm actually counting on nature taking this away. But by the time nature takes this away and it rots, I'm hoping that there's, you know, whatever dirt's built up behind here has enough grass, plants, whatever other root systems it needs to hold it in place, so that when the erosion or when the degradation of this goes and it's gone, we're not going to have a lot of erosion and giant ruts. I don't know. I know I love our property. It's just we have some very interesting little challenges, you know, especially when you live on a hill like this. Let's go ahead and see. We should be able to finish this up here in just a second now. We're just about set. I'm going to say we'll leave it maybe at 18 inches. I like 18 inches. But I do need to pull it forward about a foot. So we need, the road's going to actually cut over to here. It's going to be the end of the road. So I'm going to put that right there. And we just need to pull this up about 8 to 10 inches. All right, I'll bet that holds it in place while we spin this side here around. And this may actually go up close to this pine tree. A lot of these pine trees are going to have to slowly disappear. They're getting these pine beetles in, and I don't know how to get rid of them. Oh, like a charm. So this is that board that we cut off. And again, remember I said some of this I knew was going to decay. If it does, it's okay. You know, if this is here for 4 or 5 years before it decays, I think in 4 or 5 years we'll have a good root base, whether it's grass, plants, whatever we have in here. And it's going to hold this ground in place, and we will not have near the erosion we've had in the past. Oh, I've been waiting to get the bush hog hooked up. It's probably my favorite thing. All right. Gonna get to do a little bit of bush hogging this evening, not much, but a little bit. So we're gonna try and get at least this cut. Maybe we'll get in the woods, who knows? Gotta make sure your PTO's at 540. We were just a little below that. I feel pretty good about where we are at the moment. It's pretty well. We'll get the rest of this stuff moved out of here and I'll cut it up. I got a stump in the middle of that little pile there. Maybe we'll try one of them burn tests to get it out.